Hi there, it's Kamilah Rose with the Bliss Institute, and I am back again with our full moon and Capricorn reading for all the signs. We already have the full moon astrological reading up on the blissinstitute.org, so you can check that out now. It's got all the astrological aspects, so how the planets are relating to each other, how they are, the energy is playing together or not playing so well together, and from there you can learn more about that interaction that's going on right now between Cancer and Capricorn, and how Pisces is kind of serving as a mitigating energy between the two of them to be like, hey, let's take some deep breaths. Let's go relax a little bit. Let's go get a good meal. And then let's find some new creative ways to kind of solve some of the issues that we're seeing come up. So check that out now. Again, blissinstitute.org. And let's get into this reading. So our general energy is the sun. So the sun is indicating that we are coming out of the depths of that Cancer season, all that deep water, all of those emotional issues and those emotional kind of interactions, and how we're just so in our feelings, and the need for closure and for figuring out what's going on with ourselves. I think a lot of people have been doing a lot of self-exploration, but also kind of figuring out how they are prepared or not prepared, because this Mercury retrograde has really been kicking some folks in the butt. It has been a rough one, and we are in retrograde season. So it is just time for us to do a lot of the cleaning out and a lot of the harder work that we usually shy away from a little bit. But there's none of that happening right now because the sun is out, and it's time to look things straight in the eye, try to and see things exactly how they are. And with that, let's get started with our first sign. So we have Six of Wands for Aries. And this energy for Aries is looking at a little bit of coming down from the conflict and a little bit of how do we manage our interactions with each other? How do we go beyond just the conflict of the verbal sparring, and how do I get what I want, and do I have to be manipulative, which you don't, but you do have to be aware that other people interpret you differently than how you may expect for yourself to come across. Especially as we are in Mercury retrograde, you have to be mindful of your words. Yes, there are some folks who maybe need to get got and need to hear what you have to say, but you can't just pop off. This is not a season for popping off. This is a season for glowing up, for doing work on yourself, for focusing on yourself. Just not, these people are going through it and you need to leave them alone and let them do that and not get all involved in it. And then we have Two of Cups for Taurus. And so with this one, Taurus, you are having some opportunities. You have some decisions to make. You've gone through this very emotional period, and maybe you've made some new connections, and you've done some of that inner work that you need to do. And now it's like, all right, I can be more flexible in how I approach things. I don't have to just say that in the Cancerian, in the Taurus way, that it's this or that. And I'm going to make choices, and I'm going to be grounded, and I'm going to do the things that make me feel good and that feel nurturing. You can also do the things that seem a little harder and still get the work done. And right now you're looking at the options of like, how do I choose to feel? And if I really can make choices about how I feel, then what does that mean going forward? And I think with this sun energy and with this Piscean energy and Cancer and Capricorn, it's really saying like, face the things that you are afraid of and the feelings that feel like they're too much, they're too heavy. You never even try to pick that cup up because it looks too daunting, but it's just, you have two of them. You can split up the contents if there's too much in one. You can make things a little lighter. It's a choice that you can make. So then we have Six of Crystals for Gemini. Gemini, you have been doing the work. You are out there. You are hustling. You are really following your path. And you're seeing some of the results of that. And even though it was some hard work to get there, now you're kind of on that other side, and you're in that space, the liminal space of really making those changes, those large scale changes, because you can really say like, do I want to go back to how things were, or am I ready to move forward? And I believe you're ready to move forward. I believe that there's no point in looking back at where you are or staying in a lack space. You can totally move forward and go into abundance and accept who you really truly are. That's the cat. Sorry about that. And that is where you are right now. And with the sun, it's shining down on you. You've got that bright, vibrant energy. Everyone wants a part of you. Everyone wants to be involved. And you can say, I have had issues in the past, and now I'm ready to move on. Let's do that. Let's keep it moving. For the Cancers, oh, haven't you been putting everybody through it? You're at the 10 of Wands now. So you are at the end of the conflict. You are at the end of the battle, at the end of all of the things that are taking all of your energy. You've carried all these things on your back. You're a freaking pack rat who, the crab with literal home on their back, and you've hoarded all the things, and now it's like you have so much. Aren't you ready to take that off, move into a bigger shell, abundance, or move, or just get rid of it because it's too much and you don't need it anymore? You don't need all this baggage. I know that you'd like to explore and to be in the depths and to remember what was and to use that to create foundations for new things. But sometimes you can get so bogged down in what you've had that you can't even see what's available for you. So like, now is the time to be like, all right, we are at the end. Let's do some assessment. Let's let some things go and let's keep things moving. So then after that, we have Leo and King of Wands. This is your sign. This is your time. Leos, you are winning. It is time for you to go ahead and just accept that and keep it going. Like I said, there are a lot of folks who are going through some things. Y'all better just be like, oh, well, that sounds awful. That sounds terrible. I had a coworker who was having some conflict going on in their personal life, and I was just like, that seems really sad. That seems like it's really hard. But I personally am, it was like, how do I empathize without getting pulled into it? You're in such a powerful moment and in such a powerful time, and you're really in your element. Don't let that be pulled from you because you're distracted by wanting to care for everybody else and wanting to be the soldier for everyone else. People can learn to stand up for and defend themselves. So now, like, you stay in this place of power and you figure out what you want to do with it. As a King of Wands, where do you want that power to go? What do you want to be able to create and to do? So for Virgo, we have the Knight of Swords. Isn't that gorgeous? Knight of Swords. So with the Knight of Swords, Virgo, Virgo, if you've had a difficult time expressing yourself, if you've had a difficult time kind of running into some conflict, and you're just really wanting to get these messages out. People are talking a lot. They have a lot to say to you, and you just kind of want to enjoy yourself. You want to be able to set things in and get more stable, become more stable so that you're able to do the Virgo thing and be able to calculate and to analyze. And you can't do that when there's a lot of clutter and a lot of messages going on, a lot of energetic or mental issues happening. Because when that's going on, you can't be settled enough, stable enough to be able to actually analyze and take in the information. It's just too much. And so it might be time to be like a little zoop, a little zoop, and just kind of shut some things down, put up some boundaries, let people know what's going on so that then you can act accordingly and they can get themselves together, and then you have that space because it's your season's coming up and you want to be able to thrive in your element, in that earth element, when your season comes up. You don't want to be bogged down with what am I supposed to be doing at this time. When Virgo season comes, you want to be able to enjoy that energy, be able to reap what you've sown and to have the harvest and be able to take advantage of it. And so for Libras, we have Knight of Crystals. And so Libras are kind of going through a little bit of a similar thing. They are seeing that you have to do the work. I think this is the hardest thing, and I am a Libra, so I've talked about some of these things on the channel. I think it was Thursday. I talked about the whole budgeting. I talked about the whole being more aware of what's going on with my money and the material, and not getting so just like, oh, it'll be fine, and I'll be just like in my head and everything will be great. And that is just where we are right now. And there is such a power that comes from being present in this material space, as opposed to doing the more astral mental thing of just, oh, well, let me hear what all the problems are, let me weigh them out, and then I'll make a decision and I'll go from there. Or I will allow other people to assist me in making this decision. When you actually do the work yourself, it's so empowering and so really pushing us into this Queen of Swords, King of Swords, Libran energy, who can actually see all of the options and then make the choices that need to be made and do the balancing. You can't balance what you don't know. If there's unknowns in an equation, you have to figure out what those are. And we often work from spaces of unknowns because we have such strong intuition, but that's hindering us in that we are not developing the skills of actually like finding out how to understand all the things and all the information. We are just being more abstract, and to get into that nitty gritty facts, details, numbers. Sometimes that feels really heavy for us, and we don't like that because we're air signs. But the heaviness is a weightiness that actually lets us throw around. Oh, this is going to sound awful, but it lets us throw around our decisions with a little bit more heft to them because we have the facts to back them up. So go into the things that you've been avoiding, whether that is your budget and how you're spending your money, whether that is your relationships and how you work with people, whether that is your home or your family or whatever it is, anything that you've been avoiding because finding out the information and the details about it feels really stressful and gives you anxiety. That is the space to delve into right now, because you've got to get that in order before Libra season is coming, and we want to have the best season ever. We want to enjoy ourselves and just live it up, and that cannot happen if we have these shadows still lurking with us. Balance yourselves out, Scorpios. Temperance. Temperance. It is time for the balancing. It is time for you to have the depth, but also to be a little bit more light, a little bit more carefree, a little bit more balanced. You have to find it. That emotional balance is everything. Without it, you will drown. Even though you are the Scorpion, even though you are the sign that is in the underworld and in the depths, you will drown if you do not find some balance, because the highest level of the Scorpio is the Phoenix, and you can't fly. A fire bird cannot fly under the water. You have to balance things out. And also, if you have folks who are weighing you down, it might be time to do a little release and do a little letting go. It's going to be okay. Eight of Wands for Sagittarius. Sagittarians, what y'all doing? What y'all got going on? I feel like Sagittarians always have a lot happening. It's never bad. Well, it depends on how you look at it, but it's always just a lot. And I think that's the energy of the sign, is to have a lot of energy. And so with I'm sure it's Eight of Wands. Yes. With an Eight of Wands, I think it's time for you to maybe do a little clearing. You have so much happening, and it just seems like things keep building up and building up, and they're ramping up. But be intentional with what you're doing and what you're taking on and the conflicts that you are addressing, because you really want to be able to know more of what's coming forth for you. When you get this manifestation of all this hard work and all this energy that you've been putting forth, you want it to be the best. You don't want it to be okay. You don't want it to be bad or poor or just something that's like, oh, okay, I did all of this and this is what I'm getting out of it. You want it to be like, I did excellent work and I have an excellent product to come from that. Explore Take some time to rest and get some rejuvenation. Leo season is coming, and so that heaviness of the water is going to lift, and then it's going to be all sunshine and sparkles and parties and having fun and being courageous. So be brave and actually like let yourself be weighed down just a little bit so that you can really create some excellent work. We have Serenity, which is, I believe, the Hermit card in this deck for Capricorn. So Capricorn, rest, take a break. I know Capricorns. I have many Capricorn friends. They are honestly one of my favorite signs, even though we do like, I'm a Libra, so opposite cardinal energy, not opposite, but not like that. I don't work like Capricorns do. But you can be so hard on yourselves and so driven, and like you've done such great work. So it's okay to take a little minute, find a little peace, meditate, take a vacation, take a break, and then like get back to the grind, because you're gonna really want to be on it in the fall. I already know you are. So like come literally like probably come August, you're gonna be ready to go. So take this time now to really just fill back up your cups, fill back up your energy so that you can be ready to go when it's time to move. And then we have the Page of Swords for Aquarius. So Aquarius, maybe you're feeling a little bit more of that Leo energy already for Leo season, and you're wanting to do some things. You're feeling a little brave, and you're also feeling like you don't want to take any crap from anybody. I think with all the stuff that's going on with Mercury retrograde and all the Cancer and all of that Capricorn, you're just like, I'm so over all of this, because you're already light years ahead of us. You know, age of Aquarius, you're like, I'm in freaking age of Capricorn already. Like, let's make some new systems, let's make some new traditions, let's just get rid of all of this, and everybody else is kind of like plodding along behind you, and you're just like, I'm ready to go. Be there with yourselves and let everyone else catch up. And then lastly, for Pisces, we have the Eight of Cups. I love you, Pisces. I have a Pisces rising, but we can be so just like out of touch with reality and just kind of living in our heads and living in the past and letting things that were come over us and really impact us and not being able to move forward. And I think for Pisces, it does work a little bit differently than it does for some of the other signs when it comes to energy like this. It's not necessarily so pertinent that you be just like caught up in what's happening now. I think you do have that gift of being able to shift through the times. You know, Neptune is a planet that is all about dreams and the astral and the spiritual. So they're not even dealing with a lot of that fifth dimensional, fourth dimensional, third dimensional issues. You're able to expand and be beyond that. But at the same time, you know, while you're in this denser third dimensional space, you have to be able to function here. So, you know, acknowledge what was, make your plans, find some earth sign friends and some fire sign friends so that they can get you up and going and get you moving and get some of these projects that you really want to do and these visions that you've seen help. They will help you to manifest them and have them be real, so that the world that you envision in your head and the world that you live in your head can be the world that everyone else does. So that is the full moon in Capricorn. Seems like it's pretty good. It's got some pretty good energy for everybody. There's some conflict still going on, and it's going to be that way because of that tension between Cancer and Capricorn, and they are just really going at it right now, and they will continue to do so for quite some time. So take on that Piscean state, you know, create some utopias in of what you would like the world to be like, or what you would like your reality to be like, and then find out like what does that actually take, and then what do I need to do to actually get there, and then look at getting some of that work done. I think it'll be good. I think everybody will be fine. Take some time, relax. Summer is almost over. Cancer season is almost over. It's almost time for Leo season. And with that, it'll be time for us to get up and party and have some fun. So enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.